is Misia Danea, owner and founder of Hatha Holistic Integrative Wellness, as well as Healing Space Solutions, which is my marketing consulting business for wellness professionals. And I am very excited to have my friend with me today, James Jordan of James Jordan Marketing. And would you like to say a few things about yourself?
Sure. I work in Oakland. JamesJordanMarketing.com is my website. You and I have a lot of synergy in the work that we do together. I work with a lot of naturopaths, chiropractors, homeopaths doing their digital marketing.
That's awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah,
okay. So, you know, I've recently done a lot of my workshops and online trainings have been focused on digital marketing and social media specifically.
Okay.
And I think some people are like, well, what is this other thing, SEO, and how does it benefit me? So what is SEO? Let's start there.
Sure. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. And in a nutshell version of it is that with good SEO, good search engine optimization, you can rank on the first page of Google.
Oh, wow.
You can either rank in the top of what we call the organic listings, or you can rank in the 3-pack, which is if you search Google, you see the promoted or recommended services that are on the map.
That's what that is.
Yes.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is, I guess the big thing for entrepreneurs or small or medium businesses is if I invest in SEO, how does that help with me converting leads and so on and so forth?
Sure. Well, the best part about it is that when people search Google, they have what we call buyer intent. So if somebody finds you on Facebook and you do a Facebook ad, or they see your social media, they may find that interesting and they may refer back to you at some point in the future. But they're not necessarily looking for a yoga studio or a chiropractor right at that moment. So that doesn't necessarily convert to a sale. With search engine optimization, people are actively searching for yoga studio Oakland, yoga studio downtown Oakland. And that means that they're looking to purchase something right away. And that's why it's valuable, because it ranks you at the top for those search terms.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Google, Yahoo, Bing, when all those things first started, when you put in something, it was pretty, 10 years ago, it was pretty easy to search something. But if you Google yoga studio in California or yoga studio in Oakland, you might get 12 pages of Google search. Yeah. So that's great that you can kind of just zip right up to the top so people see you first.
Yeah.
Actually, that happened to me. I want to plug Hack the Hood that built both of my websites, and right shortly after my website went live, people were consulting me. They were like, hey, I saw you online when I Googled body positive yoga in Oakland. You were the first one. And I was like, great. So that did lead to some income.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I guess you kind of just talked about brand awareness. I took your workshop that you did for Facebook advertising.
That, yes.
What are the nuances between SEO and paid advertising with your website or social media?
Sure. So there's such called search engine optimization, and then there's paid per click advertising. Mm-hmm. Within paid per click advertising, there's Google AdWords, and there's Facebook advertising. So search engine optimization is its own thing. You can't pay Google to rank at the top of their organic listings. You can pay Google to be one of the advertisements that they put at the very top of the page, and it actually says a little ad underneath it. So people often get confused between the organic listing and the Google paid listings, and the Google paid listings are completely different. And then, in addition, Facebook also has paid advertising, which you can pay to reach a certain audience within Facebook. And you can collect leads, you can engage them in a conversation, you can promote your brand. And so that's another channel for advertising online.
Perfect. That sounds great. What else do I have here? So we're thinking about mostly solo entrepreneurs, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, people that have about 10 to 15 or less employees. And how does SEO help them kind of pony up against larger companies that are offering the same, things? So like if I have a shop that sells like pharmaceuticals, but like Rite Aid or CVS, they're gonna, obviously.
Yeah, well, that's a great question because there's certain industries which it's going to be very hard to be a solopreneur and rank in Google. So for example, pharmaceuticals.
I just threw that out.
Yeah, I know, but it's just a perfect example because very few of us are actually making drugs in our back rooms. Mm-hmm. But if we were, we wanted to rank at the top of Google, we would be competing against multi-billion-dollar companies who put out a lot of SEO, search engine optimization. They spend millions and millions of dollars on it a year, so it's going to be very hard to rank. On the other hand, if you run a small let's say holistic pharmacy, and you do herbs and Chinese medicine, then there's not a huge conglomerate of companies that is competing in that space at the local level. Okay. So you have a much better chance of ranking.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so the next thing is around, we talked about advertising. So if I was going to use SEO, like the first thing I would think about is website traffic. How does that also, I'm wondering if that SEO is good for blogs, if it's good for my email marketing and my newsletter and, things of that nature.
Yes, and it gets kind of, convoluted when you start talking about email marketing and blogs. So the best way of putting it is that to get your site ranked higher in Google, it's great to have a lot of content. That's the number. To have a lot of content. So when you write blogs, when you post your emails online, when you have a well-written website, that's going to boost your ranking in Google, your SEO. And it will rank it for what we call the buyer intent keywords. So yoga studio Oakland, yoga studio downtown Oakland. On the flip side of that, if you write a blog, and let's say you write a blog about the best 5 cat poses for yoga, that may rank high in Google for cat yoga poses, but not people who are searching for how to do cat yoga poses want to do it themselves. They want to learn how to do it at home. Mm-hmm. So those are not buyer intent keywords. Mm-hmm. So I don't advise people to write a blog to rank higher for cat yoga poses. You want to rank for certain keywords, which is yoga studio Oakland.
Okay, perfect. Just a couple more questions here. Is SEO does it hold any weight with mobile versus since the growing amount of people who are using the internet are more on their cell phones or their their iPads and so forth? Do you think SEO has is there any sort of tips that you might have around that?
Sure. So in today's day and age, if you want to rank in Google, there's multiple factors which you have to consider. 2 of the most important factors are your site has to be mobile friendly, mm-hmm. and it has to be secure.
Great.
Which is a little technical, but what we call SSL, or having, whenever you see HTTPS, the little S after the word HTTP, that means it's secure.
Awesome. Oh, I did not know that. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. And then I wanted to ask you too, just 1 or 2 more things. With SEO and hashtags and social media and all these things, do you think it's better for people to invest more in SEO versus putting advertisements in a magazine or a newspaper, like flyers, like kind of the old school ways of getting the word out?
So SEO, depending on your industry, can be very expensive.
Okay.
Because of the competition. So I recommend that people put together the best website possible, mm-hmm. Which you can do very cost effectively. And I recommend that you produce as much content as you possibly can. Okay. So that means blog posts, It also means creating an email list, sending emails out to your folks, having specials and offers, and having a marketing message that you can carry, whether it's in your purse, on your cards, whether you can put out in an email, send in an email, whether you can post it on Facebook or social media. Those are the most important, I think, things today in digital marketing. And I think, frankly, you're going to get better bang for your buck doing those things than focusing on SEO exclusively, like how can I rank higher, how can I rank higher. No, you're better off creating a lot of content and a good marketing message, and over time that will also rank your SEO.
Right. And so that you kind of already answered already, but you said it can end up being pricey. So how would one budget for SEO? Like either if it's a solo entrepreneur, maybe somebody that has like a small team of like 3 to 5 people.
Great question. So what I recommend for companies in that area is to, I usually do a marketing strategy consultation with them. And often what comes out of that consultation is that I will design a website platform for them, whether it's WordPress or what have you, that is optimized for search engine optimization. And then I will recommend that they start creating content for that website. I do offer content marketing packages where I'll actually write the blog post in combination with you, and you provide your input, because 1,500 to 2,000 words per blog post is what is really going to help you with your clients and with Google. And those are quite long articles, and very few entrepreneurs have time to do that. Mm-hmm. So I do offer that package. And if you do those two things, you optimize your website and you create content, then over time you'll rank. There is a third platform, part of that platform, which is you can reach out to other website owners and try to get them to link to your website. Mm. And that is that is the fast path to ranking high in Google. I don't recommend usually spending money on that because, again, it's very expensive. It has to be done over a long period of time. Mm-hmm. And it's better to do it organically, to have people contact you and say, I really like your article, I'm going to post it, I'm going to send out an email, I'm going to post it on Facebook, or can I, they don't usually even ask us just link to it because it has such good information.
I've done that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be much more cost effective.
Great. So I'm going to check to see if anybody on Facebook Live is asking questions. Oh my God. Sorry.
Wasn't on?
I guess the internet was choppy.
Uh-oh.
I have to head to San Francisco, but do you have time to do that again? I'll make it like 5 minutes.
Sure.
So we can zip through it. I think it was just like, let's just do it one more time, just in case.